our relationships and growing as women. Today on Sipping Tea with Jesus, I have a video that's a little bit different than previous ones. I think this one is more so, I don't want to say preacher type, because I don't know if I'm going to consider preacher, but it's more so geared toward faith, the faith, which all my videos are about faith, but this one is kind of a little bit more deeper. God led me to title this video Dancing to Your Victory, and at first I was like, oh my goodness, which I feel like that's my reaction every time he tells me what it is. Not because I don't want to do it, usually it's because it's more just shocked that that's what he wants me to talk about. So yeah, that's the title of the video. I'm just going to start, and you'll understand why it's called that as I kind of keep going in. So, okay, like most of you know from my previous videos, as a teen or even as like an early young adult, I didn't really have a lot of confidence in myself. You know, like I think I would fake confidence because most probably wouldn't know, I guess, from the way I kind of put myself out there in a way. Like I was very social, but still with being very social, I was like not confident, and that mostly showed in regards to dancing. And yes, so dancing, yes. So I would be like, I could be in my room, and it's like I couldn't even dance in front of myself in my room, basically. Like it would be like I was too embarrassed to dance just with me in a room by myself. I have no idea why. And it's like I would judge myself so much that it was like I would feel so uncomfortable to even think about dancing in a room by myself. Like that's weird. And then like sometimes I couldn't even like dance in front of Noah. It's like I don't know if I thought that he would make fun of me, something. I don't know. It was, my self-esteem was like so low internally that like I couldn't even handle stuff like that. And then also whenever I used to like go to clubs and bars or whatever, I was always the one who didn't dance. Like I mean, I made a little bit, but not really. Like I would be the one that's talking to everybody. Like I would just fool around and talk to people. But like when it came to dancing, I was so uncomfortable. I dreaded that part. And it's like even when I did, my friends would like make fun and say that I had like a church dance. Like I would like snap my fingers and just go side to side like that, and it would just be churchy, like as if I'm just in a choir and just swaying side to side in a choir. And that would be like every single time I danced, which I knew I was uncomfortable. I knew I didn't fit in with certain types of dancing, like twerking, all that stuff. Never fit in with that. Never did, like never, it just didn't, for me, it just felt awkward. Like I felt like I was trying to force myself to be something that I'm not. And so it's like from then on, I just couldn't dance. And I was like, and not that I can't dance, like my parents always, we grew up learning like ballroom dancing. So like I could do that, like that I could do if there's like a routine to it, but like free dancing, no, not happening. So as I started to kind of grow and get closer to God, I found myself being more confident in who I am and not really caring as much about what people say. So like I would say about a few months ago, I was in a room, and I'm in my bedroom, and I was singing and I was worshiping, and out of nowhere I just like started dancing while praising God. And I was like, first I felt weird because I was like, this is strange, this is something I do not do. But it was like I was free in my room by myself, me and God, and I was just dancing. And ever since then, it's like now that's like part of my I would say praise and worship, basically. Like we have a prayer room, and I always have like a routine of kind of what I do when I come in and like to usher God's presence and spend time with him. I sit down, I will pray first, and then I'll pray some worship songs, and then I'll play like praise songs to where I start dancing, and then I end with worship, and then I sit down and I be quiet and I hear from God. It's like that's kind of the routine of what I do to hear from God and just usher his presence in. So today, like literally today, Friday, I felt off all day, which it's nothing new. I usually feel off every now and then. Not even sure why. Sometimes I just have an off day. So I was feeling off all day, and it took me hours to get in here to like in my prayer room to really sit and spend time with God. And it was like there was a wall, and I don't even know why I didn't feel like it, because I know whenever I spend time with God that it is a peaceful moment. So it's like why I was dreading to come in here, I have no idea. Which he then told me it's like a spiritual battle, but I'm pretty sure that, and that's what it was. But at the time, I didn't understand why I didn't feel like going in there or coming in here. So I come in here and I sit down, and I'm just sitting there. I'm like, I don't even know what to say. I don't feel like saying anything. I don't feel like doing anything. But I knew in order to but I knew I didn't want to feel that way anymore. Like I didn't want to feel like blah. Like that's the best way I can explain how I felt. Just blah. Like not really sad or depressed, but just blah. Like if that's as simple as I can explain it. So I came in here, I sat down, still feeling blah. I knew I didn't really want to feel that way, but like I knew the only way to not feel like that would be to praise and worship and just be in God, because that's where all my peace and joy comes from. So I'm sitting in there and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna stand up, and then, which I always praise and worship like while standing, because I feel weird sitting down. It's like I feel like it's not enough, even though we will never do enough to give God exactly what he deserves. I still feel like sitting down and like just praise and worship, and it's like nothing. Like not that it's nothing, but I just really need to stand up anyway. So I stand up and I'm like just walking around, just kind of pacing, kind of like thinking of like what to say, just focusing on the music and the worship songs that I'm listening to. And a praise and worship song comes on, and then which this particular song is a song that kind of I start dancing to just naturally, like just makes me move naturally. And I was like, oh man. And it was like I knew my body would just start moving, so to say. So it came on and I started dancing, and it's like as I was like dancing and praise and worship, I just felt all of that like blah feeling just coming off, like just literally like I just felt it like falling off. I can't really explain it, but that's the best way to put it. It was falling off. And then next thing I know, I'm like back to myself. I'm back to being just I'm not really energetic, but I'm back to myself. I don't feel off. I feel just fine. And which it just showed me that being in God's presence is such a liberating feeling. And sometimes we need to dance our way into our victory. And for me, my victory was not feeling off or feeling just strange, so to say. I don't know. Like I wanted to feel my happy, joyful self, and I knew that I had to kind of force myself to do that, to get into that, because it's not going to happen it wouldn't have happened if I didn't decide to try my best to get there. And while I was like beginning to dance and stuff, God gave me the title of the video, because I still, like I said, I never know what the video is usually, honestly, until hours before I begin to record. So he said, dance in your victory. And I was like, oh. I said, okay, maybe that's not it. So I'm just going to keep praise and worship and going and seeing what it is, if he gives me something else. Because I was like, how am I going to make a video out of that? So then, of course, I keep going and dancing and stuff, and then he's just kind of dropping more into me. And I was like, okay. Well, I was like, all right, God, I'm not sure about that one, but I'll do it. So, I sat down and I was just kind of just meditating more so on what I felt God was leading me to say with this video. And it's just like, so of course, whenever he gave me that, I thought of David, dance like David danced. 2 Samuel 6 verse 14 is where, David is dancing with all his might in front of God. And, we hear that one a lot, but I don't think we really kind of put emphasis on the fact that the dancing, it was a different way to worship. We always saw praise and worship like dancers growing up. Like I did that a little bit as a teen, but it's like I don't think we really talk about it like in our own personal time also, not just for like performance, but actually doing it as a real sign of worship. And because I feel like it's the reason why I always felt strange when dancing. I didn't have confidence when dancing. I like now thinking about it, I feel like it was a way the devil was trying to stop me from giving another, I guess, taking my worship to another level and really tapping into that. Because literally, as soon as I started dancing, like for God in His presence, one time I heard Him say, like, every step you're taking is breaking off chains, or it's breakthrough every step. And it's like when you're actually moving, there's something about actually moving that is liberating. It's like when you move, you literally exercising. So I would say dancing is a form of exercise. Like I would consider dancing exercise. And when you exercise, you get energy. It just like for as far as the scientific side, it's like you get energy. It boosts your energy, which of course, which later you get tired. But right then you get the energy you need, and then which makes sense because if you're feeling off, then come to God, praise and worship and dance and work your way through that, and then at the end you will feel back to where you need to be. You'll feel energetic, you'll feel happy, and it's like it sounds so simple and it sounds like okay, but it's like when you actually do it and tap in, it'll make so much more sense. Like I hope the importance of this is resonating with you like the way it was with me, because I was one who didn't dance. I like music, I love music and all that, but I just didn't. I don't know. I always felt like people would. I always felt like I wasn't dancing a certain way that my culture dances. If that makes sense. Like I don't know. Like I just feel like I never really fit in a certain way when it came to dancing certain ways. Like which goes to people like saying that I talk white or seem white or act white or whatever, whichever acting white is, but you know what I mean. So it's like I was subconscious, all that, but now it's like when I get in here and I start dancing for God, it's like I don't even care. I don't even think about any of that because first of all, it's literally just me and God anyway. Like why would God care about how you're dancing? Like, because then I was like overthinking, like man, am I doing too much? Like am I off beat? Because then it was like if I got one time I got off beat and I was like oh shoot, that's embarrassing. So it's like working through working through my insecurities, like dancing really helped break off all those insecurities, and I was just shocked that literally, I guess more so I'm shocked that like dancing really is a form of worship. Like I knew it, like I said, I knew praise and worship was a sign of worship, but it's like the dance praise and worship was a sign of worship, but actually dancing in your own time and letting go, it's like you're rejoicing, you're happy, like even if you're sad and you still decide to dance your way through your sadness or your depression, it's like you're showing God that you have faith that you have faith that He's going to bring you out of whatever you're feeling. Because who dances while they're mad? Like I've never really, I know I haven't danced much, but I really can't imagine someone dancing with an angry face, like actually just dancing in a mad way. So it's like you're sad before you start dancing and to worship God, and then when you decide to just go ahead and just dance, you have faith that you're going to come out of that madness and that darkness. So it's like you have no choice but to be happy while you're dancing. Like I guess if someone dances while they're mad, I would love to see that. That would probably intrigue me more than it should. But I don't know. I think it's amazing, and like this video, I wasn't really sure about it honestly at first, but I think it could probably help someone if you feel like you just are kind of you hit a wall where you don't feel like worshiping. You just gotta force yourself to do it. You have to dance yourself your way into victory, into what it is you're wanting, and God honors that. God sees that you actually try to get out of that funk. Like here lately, when Noah has a fit and he's throwing like his little fit attitude, temper tantrum or whatever, I said, okay, Noah, are you choosing to be happy or are you choosing to be mad right now? I said, because you have a choice. Like you can choose not to be mad right now, whatever it is you're mad about, you can choose. So then I'll say, okay, so I'm gonna close my eyes, I'm gonna count to 3, and then you let me know if you decided to be happy or not. So of course when I say that, usually he laughs and it makes him laugh, and he's choosing to be happy. So it's like, we can choose to be happy. We can choose to allow situations get us all worked up, get us from like out of character and all that. But it's like when you choose to just dance and rejoice and be happy in God, despite in spite of what you're going through, like that will help you in the long run. It'll help your faith. It'll help your relationship with God. It will help the way you trust Him. I just think there's not, like, you can't go wrong with choosing to get out of that funk. And I really feel here lately, God has been like showing me that, because I do, like, sometimes I think Satan really messes with my emotions. That's where I think he knows where he thinks he can get to me. But it's like, as soon as I realize that, like, something just feels off, maybe a spiritual battle, whatever it is, it's like I know, okay, well, I need to go into God and just work my way and force my way through it and just push through, which is here lately has been just praise and worshiping and dancing my way through. And I know it sounds simple, but in the long run, it's not as simple as it sounds. There's power in our worship. There's power in every step we take to honor God and worship Him. And I think if we kind of just open our minds to dancing more for God, and I know dancing kind of in society has been, sometimes can be seen as, I don't know, not like secular ways like in the church, but that's just kind of how society has made it to be. But there is so much, I think there's healing in when you dance. I think there is, like, strongholds can break through when you're dancing and you're worshiping God. And that's what I believe, that's what God told me. So it's like, I'm trusting what He says. I think there is nothing wrong with expanding the way you worship God. If you're trying to go deeper in your faith and deeper in your worship, just give it a try. Like, get in your alone time, if you in your room, your prayer room, wherever it is, and actually just enjoy God and have fun with Him and dance in His presence. Like, there's nothing wrong with dancing and worshiping Him and just really rejoicing for who He is. And I think you will see at the end of it, honestly, I forgot that I was even upset or even felt off. I don't even know. So that was it. That was it with this video. And I just wanted to encourage you to fight your way through whatever it is you're going through. Literally dance your way through into your victory, and you will see the outcome is so much better than how you started. So that was all. As always, follow me on Instagram at hercrown__. Tomorrow Sunday, I will be doing the Let's Really Find Out video. Last week I didn't post it. It was my dad's birthday, and it was like a whole week ordeal. I went out of town, but on Sunday I will be posting it, and I will try to stay the course and be on schedule with all that. So apologies with that. But thank you for always watching and supporting, and I really pray that you will kind of tap in to this word or message. If we really just have an open mind and listen to, and actually just try it out. Like, don't even think about it, just try it and see kind of where that gets you. So again, have a great weekend. Thanks for watching, and love on yourself and your family.